Hello, how are you all? Today we are with Gina and we're looking at Gina's book. So this is one of the many sessions where we speak to a past course participant or a past done for you client to find out who they are, what they've done, what they've made and what their book is about. And if you're thinking, well, that's wonderful, but who are you? I am Claire Clark. I help business owners create planners, journals and workbooks as lead generating tools for their business, as passive income tools, as a marketing tool for their business, all through automated and lovely, glorious, simple ways. So anyway, we have here Gina. Hello, Gina. Can you tell us, I'm sure you can. I can't get my words out today. Really struggling to get my words out. Can you tell us who you are? Of course you can. Tell us who you are, Gina, and what your business is.
My name's Gina. I run a construction company, specifically roofing and cladding, with my husband. We've done that for quite a few years now. So yeah.
Oh, and what actually is cladding?
So roofing and cladding on the industrial side is so like warehouse buildings, commercial buildings, where it's metal sheets that go on roofs and walls, like I said, specifically for industrial buildings.
Exciting. Cool. So you have done the branded business books course and you came in to create a book related to your business. You got a copy with you. I haven't got a copy with me. I'm like, I'm sure I have a copy and I haven't got it. And I'm like, no, here it is. And it's called the Contractors Quote Book, Roofing and Cladding. Yeah. Tell us about your book, Gina.
And it's a bit curled on the edges because it is being used at the minute. So I joined the course because I wanted to create a notebook to make quoting for jobs in my industry easier, more organised. So I work with my husband, like I said. I work in the office and he goes out and quotes for jobs and stuff. And he comes, or used to come home with a random piece of metal or a piece of wood or a back of an envelope with a drawing on for dimensions for something we needed to get a price for, or a job that we were quoting for, scribbled down picture of a building, and I'm like, what do you want me to do with that?
I just
send this piece of wood.
I just see it on a Greg's envelope. I got a Greg's envelope, like Greg's not envelope, packet, like an empty packet. Like, yeah, love,
literally things like that. And I like things to be organised and all in order and stuff. So kind of together, really, we had the idea of why don't we make a notebook that has got all the things in and specific pages for doing drawings of dimensions of materials and things, and keep everything together to make it more organised for all of us and easier for our suppliers.
Yeah, and easier for you. And everything's easier, everything's better, and things are easier in business, everything works better. Have you got any pages in there that you haven't written in that you can show us what the inside's like?
So it's 6 pages repeated all the way through. And so the first page is just to keep like client information, email address of the site, and a part just to say a bit about what the works that the client's wanting doing. And then another one is this page, which is for profiles of roof sheets and roof lights.
Is that the side, like what the noob would call corrugated steel?
Yes. So that's the edge profile of that. And in this industry, there are thousands. And there's lots I've marked where you need to write each measurement of the sheet down, because when we get a price for those, so we go to our supplier and we want a price for this particular sheet, they need to know what all those dimensions are so they can match it. And so there's like 1, 2, 3.
It's not just like, have you got wavy cladding or
no,
cladding?
It's not like that at all.
Wow, I didn't realise there were so many different variations.
Yeah, and so there's 5 different points that you have to measure. And so I would send my husband out and be like, you need to get that profile for that sheet so we can get a price for it. And he'd come back and he's, I've only got 4 of the measurements and not all 5. I'm missing this measurement, and then they can't match it. So he's got all those points there, so he knows he needs all those measurements. And then we can literally put the quantity and colour and like there's things that you need, like fillers, which you won't know what they are unless you're in the industry.
Needed.
Yeah, different things that you need along with that. So that saves us so much time as well, for him not having to go back to jobs and get the other measurement is forgotten, things like that.
Writing stuff down is not his zone of genius, is it? His zone of genius is actually doing the cladding and running, and you've got a team of guys and all that lot. Is doing all that side of things. Yeah,
that's it. And so then on the next page I've got a flashing schedule. So this has got squared squares in it, so you can so you can in boxes, so you can easily draw, like we use flashings, that so you put your metal sheets on, and where they meet on a corner you put a nice metal flashing down the side, so it hides all the little, you know, joins and stuff, and makes it all look really nice. And they're all different shapes and sizes, and because it's squared, he ain't got to get his ruler out and whatever and start drawing them. He can just follow the squares and draw it, and put those measurements on. And then there's a spare squared page for any extra things that we need, because there's usually something extra. A lined page for notes and things like that. And then we've got the actual quote page, so I can list everything that you need for each job. Yeah, basically, and how much that costs, and so we can work out the cost to us and then work out the price for the client, which helps a lot as well. Making sure you've got everything, because each job's different and there's different things that you need for different jobs, and so it's really been really helpful and time saving for our business. So
brilliant. And it's absolutely amazing that you've created a book that's helped you and your business. And I always say, if you I get people say, oh, it's too specific, it's too niche, and this just proves here, actually, being that specific, like you could have easily just got a contractor's quote book, but actually you've gone really specific on the cladding and the roofing, you know, and how that works, because then you can add those extra bits in about the different types of cladding and all those things. And I say to people that you can't be too niche, because people want something specific. When you have a problem yourself and you think, well, is there only me? Well, there isn't, because we know that when you launched your book, you actually didn't realize until I looked, and you'd sold like over 100 books, hadn't you? Like, oh my God, I've not even launched it yet, and you'd sold 100 books. So the other side to this, which you already had in mind, didn't you, was what was your other reason of creating this book?
So when I created it, on my first ideas, it was just going to be just for us, and we'd have our branding, because this is not the branding for our business, so we're going to have our branding on it, and it was just going to be for us. But then I thought, there's probably more than just us that have the same problems of the pieces of random piece of wood and metal and stuff, so I made it generic, so that other people in the same industry could buy it, and that would then hopefully make like a passive income for us as well, which it has.
And what we found interestingly, I hope you don't mind me sharing, that when we looked at your in your reports, because you were a bit surprised you'd made some sales, like Gina even made some sales, go and have a look, and you looked at the back and you'd seen that you'd sold 100 copies. We think someone is buying them in bunches, don't we?
Yeah.
And I guess it is the kind of thing that someone would buy for a workplace. If it's a much bigger business than yourself, and they've got several roofers and cladders going out and doing stuff to bring quotes back in, potentially going to get ahead of the department going, I'm going to buy a few of these books in as tools for their business. So that's brilliant, super exciting. I'm really pleased how that's gone. So you created this book in the Branded Business Books course, didn't you? Which included a book cover. So we designed your book cover for you. And you created all the internals. Obviously, we helped you in the course. How did you find it?
It was really good, and it was really simple to follow. I mean, when you think about making a notebook, and when you've got specific things you want on the pages inside, at the beginning I was like, oh, that's a bit daunting, I've got to make those internal pages, how am I going to do that? But you gave us all like the tools and everything to use, and made it really simple, and so it were really fun to do, actually.
You might have done a couple others just for fun as well, might you, underneath? And that's the thing. So this is when you do the Branded Business Books course, or the planner making course, whatever you want to call it, it's a rinse and repeat method. So everything that Gina's learned, anything that anybody learns when they do this course is, yes, they make a book during the course. Sometimes people do make more than one, but at any point you can go out and make another book. So it might be that actually Gina decides to, speak to a local plumber and say, if I was going to make this for you, but about plumbing stuff, what would we have in it? And she could create another version, use the same concept, but then just tweak it all for plumbers, use the same concept and tweak it all for whatever, like any industry, hairdresser, anything. I mean, I was thinking more trades, but I've gone off on one. It could be anybody, and that's the thing about this.
That's it.
Really can make these books for anybody. And if it's going to help you, it will help somebody else. So yeah, and I think so when we first came into the group and we were all like learning about what each other did, I think there might have been the odd person that went, "She's doing roofing and cladding. What was she doing in there? But hey, there we go." So it's not likely that we have anybody in here that's looking for a roofing and cladding contractor, but maybe they are. But maybe if you're curious to know a bit more about Gina's business, so that you can see parallels to yours and whether you want to make a book, where can we have a little nosy about your business? What's it called?
It's EnviroClad Roofing and Cladding Systems Limited, and we're on LinkedIn and Facebook.
Facebook, lovely. And I'm going to put a link in to that's not the link into the book, that's the Zoom code, because we have an issue. Let's get it. I'm going to put a link in to the book so you can have a look at the book, whether it might be something you want to buy or you want to have a look at it and think, well, I wonder if there's something in here that can give me inspiration of the kind of book that you would make. And I'll add links to Gina's business and stuff down below. If anybody's thinking, maybe I should make a book, whether you do the course or the done for you service, what would you say, Gina?
Do it, definitely. It's
and two reasons. You know, you're going to create something that's going to help you, and you're going to create something that's going to help you.
And when I first started doing it, like I said, I had initial ideas, and then working with you just gave me so many more ideas, and it just spiraled in an amazing way. So yeah.
I remember one of the pages as well, just going back, and I can't remember which one it was, but one of the pages you were like, I don't know. And then you showed me, I was like, well, what about this and this? You're like, oh God, yes. And then all of a sudden, and I was like, try that. And you did it. You're like, I've done it, I've got it.
Yeah,
and it's having that other person. I've seen so many planners and books and workbooks and journals. I eat, sleep and breathe this. I'm full of the ideas. So when you are creating a book, I think that's another good reason of doing it in a course with other people, so that somebody can say, yes, try this.
Yeah, definitely. And I think sometimes when I've done other things, I've thought, oh, I might feel a bit stupid asking this question, but it never felt like that through the course either. It were always, you were always really approachable and stuff, so I could just be like, I'm stuck. Help.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you so much, Gina. Lovely to speak to you. Show us your book again.
Here it is.
Contractors quote book, roofing and cladding. Even if you're not roofing and cladding, go and have a nosy. It gives you an idea of the kind of thing you could make. And I will speak to you all very soon. Do check out all the other videos where we are talking with people who have made books with the Iron Clay Clark Company. And I'll speak to you all soon. Bye.
Bye.